what do you think? Do you think it's like a management position? Because I feel like there has to be something that's going on. Because I'm like, I don't think it's the developers. I feel like management gets it and then they're like announces it too early and they're like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. 12 months from now, we got it.
I think the top problem is money.
Money?
Ooh. Yeah, I think the top and forever deciding factor is money. You're spending thousands of dollars to pay a big ass team to get this ambitious ass game done. And if investors are involved or whatever, if they don't have another project that they're helping out with another developer to kind of bring in some income to supplement the studios being afloat and alive to continue to work on their own IP, this perpetuates, hey, we're running out of money, hurry up and get this shit done so we can see the return investment of it. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I was watching a talk, I think, and I can't remember the talk, and if I remember, I'll send it to you to probably enlighten you, because every developer studio from a team of like the one I took you to when we were in Burbank when I was working on that project of 3 people in a fucking room functions this way up to a team of 200. It's just that there's more hierarchy and politics and bullshit involved. The process of it is you need to have something that's going to be able to get out at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
And you have this timeline to do it in. You have bugs along the way, vertical slices, and other things that go into that. The more you add to the game, the more bugs that occur.
Okay.
The more bugs that occur becomes more manpower. The more manpower, the more money gone. Then you start doing playtesting, right? Something I just went through last week at a Sony first party studio. And with that comes a lot more resources, right? Some more money. Now, again, if the investor's involved, the investor's like, hey, look, I gave you $500 million.
Damn.
You had $500 million to do marketing, pay your salary, folks, get playtesting done, QA, music, voiceovers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Everything that goes into the development process of the studio. If that investor is like, after $500 million is out, I'm not giving you any more money. Because here's the point I was going to make.
Mm-hmm.
You sometimes don't see the return investment of sales right away. That's why those things on those other podcasts was talking about like, margin sheets in terms of what Sony made that month. If Sony doesn't release their amount, but like I think it was Nintendo and Xbox, what they made off of like whatever consoles that they sold or games that sold well that month. But you have to wait 2 months almost, especially to see your return on investment from that game being launched. So that means that if you're behind, now they've had to either probably take out a loan or they're running out of money fast. Because we were talking about management, it's not just with management though, it's just people can only, as a creative, you can only work as hard as you can. There's only so many fucking video shoots you can do in a day. There's only so much music you can write at a certain amount of time before your body fucking taps out and you're tired or you get sick or fucking life happens. I don't know. Like maybe it doesn't affect you directly, but it affects you externally by maybe someone that you live with. Your roommate fucking left the water on and now you got a flood or something. So you have to deal with an emergency because you have to live.
Or you got
and so that causes you to be late for work, or your wife is pregnant, whatever the case, or your partner got complications health-wise and you live with them, your family, what the fuck, man? Like everything that happens in life. And I don't think that game studios account for this buffer of being a human being. So they think that you're going to get the animations done in 2 weeks, right? In 2 weeks, it's going to be February, fucking this. So like, it's going to be done, right?
Or like
uploaded
February
the day before, the night before.
Right?
Yeah. So it's just like, are we fucking robots or are we human beings? If we're human beings, this buffer should be allowed. Meaning that, okay, if X is going to go through whatever is going to happen with them, possibly, God forbid, with it being health issues or whatever the fuck externally happens in his life, do we have something like what they call in music theater is like an understudy Do we have the backup? Which animation teams usually as a team, so most people should have each other's back. But still, even my girlfriend deals with this. Even before she was a manager, she would be holding down in a team of 4 and one person. Maybe the other person will happen. So let's see that there was a team of 5. She'd probably be doing almost 3 people's jobs.
The fuck?
In one day. So let's transfer that into being an artist or something like that, or whoever, or a programmer, or whatever the case may be. Like I said, you get the person's got those assets, they throw those assets in the game, bugs happen. I don't know how big the programming team is, but if they're getting salaries, that money's going bye. And then if they don't get that done because they're trying to hit a certain benchmark, because February 14th, that shit's going to be on vertical slice. We got to show it to the investor, or we got to show it to our publisher. It has to be done. Now that person's working longer hours. If they don't resolve it, or they find the problem, and they have to say, so say they don't resolve it, that's one issue that they have to deal with, which is might cause a delay. Then if they say, hey, this was the issue, animator's got to redo this, and then it will probably work. Then say it works, then that problem is resolved, but the animator probably has to work longer hours because it is a longer process for them to go back and redo some things sometimes, depending on the skill of the animator. But again, let's take life into account. What if the animator is sick? What if the animator had a doctor's appointment? What if whatever the fuck externally was happening outside of the studio is causing these things? And so people fucking forget that people have lives, and that lives are going to get into the roadblocks of other things like this. And therefore, it perpetuates these other things that causes this to happen. If you fucking had a buffer as a studio, and what I mean by that buffer is you had a buffer of hey, look, it's going to cost us $500 million, but I'm going to ask for $600 million because of the $100,000 buffer. They'd be like, okay, cool. You have a $600 million budget. Your $100 million buffer will now kick in only if you don't meet this thing. And I have it that. Great. Now that's good planning, because you fucking thought about something happening with humans along the line. If you want fucking robots to make your game, build an AI. You want AIs to create the fucking music for you, and everybody's being so motherfucking cheap.
Hold on now. Detroit become human. We don't need that yet.
Everybody's being so motherfucking cheap. Fucking build the damn robots to build the game then, if you want it to be so fucking robotic. If you want that perfection, and you want that shit to be February fucking 13th at 1 p.m., whatever fucking standard time that you live in, to be on the dot, build the fucking AI to do it then at the time. Because the AI ain't going to get sick. The AI probably not going to be crashing, and you're going to have your shit on time. But until fucking then, you have humans to deal with, because you like humans to be creative for you. So this is the situation of what the inside about it kind of goes on.